the PARS team. First of all, hope you're keeping safe and well. I'm just going to demonstrate a few exercises using some resistance bands today in a seated position. So these are strengthening exercises that you can do. Alternatively, I'll show you without bands as well, just in case you haven't got them. Two bands here today, so we've got a yellow and a pink. Yellow one is a lighter resistance, pink is a stronger resistance. If you've got a couple of different ones, different strengths, try and start with the lower one first. As you progress in, you can build up towards a stronger band, but always start with the lighter one first. I'm going to demonstrate a leg press exercise. So this is thigh strengthening, hip strengthening, knee stabilising as well. So good for everyday activities like walking, going upstairs, strength in and out of a chair. Okay. First, what I'm going to do is just try and move forward. So I'm sat right to the front of the chair. I'm nice and tall through posture, shoulders are back, and I've got a good stable base where my knees and ankles are lined up. So nice and tall through the chair. What I'm going to do first with the band is just hold it at the tops and let it just fall to the floor, so you're not having to lean over to get it under your foot. First thing we're going to do then is just to step onto the band. You're going to have your working foot slightly in front of the opposite one, and the band under the ball of your foot there. So not to the back, just under the ball of the foot. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, to start, we're just going to walk the hands down, just so that the level of your knee. What you want to avoid as well is wrapping the band around your knuckles. Just going to avoid any stress around that area and any pain through there. So just let the band not to hang loose under your hands there. Thumbs on top for this exercise. So again, maintaining that tall posture. What we'll do first is going to have a slight raise up off the floor, about an inch off the floor. We're going to bring the hands into the hips. So this is where you want to just anchor the band in the hips here. Just relax your arms. Then we're going to drive the foot out and down towards the floor. So it should be so your heel is down towards the floor. We're going to have a 5-second hold in this position. And then when you're done, we're just going to bring the foot back in again, swell gap again to the floor, and then relax your hands down towards the knee. Just want to have a couple of seconds in between each repetition. I'll just show you that again. So have a little lift off the floor first. Bring the arms in, tuck into the hips, drive out and down with the heel. 5-second hold here. Again, just bring the knee back in first, foot down, and then relax down to the knee again. What we're going to try and do is do about 6 to 8 repetitions. If you can't manage that, just start at a lower repetition range and build your repetitions up. So I've just demonstrated the leg press. Obviously, you haven't got any bands in the house. There are alternatives you can do. One is to do step-ups. If you've got some handrails, just at the bottom of the step, just to step on and off. Again, that's going to be building strength through the thigh, through the hip, stabilising the knee. Alternatively, if you are in a chair, what you can do is just use a small hand weight. Alternatively, a tin of soups, for instance, that I've got here, or a small water bottle that's filled up. What we're going to do this one is just rest it on top of the leg. We're just going to do some knee raises here. So again with this, it's just important to keep that nice tall posture at the front of the chair. Try not to lift too high. So just until you start to feel a little bit of a pull around the hips. So again, you should feel that hip area, top of the thigh as well. And then just start in a low repetition, about 6 to 8. Have a little rest in between each repetition, and then go on to the opposite leg. So the next exercise I'm going to show you is a wrist strengthener. So this is good for unscrewing lids off jars, carrying the kettle. It's going to strengthen the muscles in your forearm, around the wrist. Also, if you are having falls, it's good strengthener, so that if you are landing on your arms, hopefully it reduces the risk of fracture because you strengthen the tissue around that wrist joint area. So what we're going to do with the band this time is we're going to just fold it into roughly a cloth size shape. Doesn't have to be very tight, so we'll go with a longer length to start with. Again, I've got the lighter band with me here, but again, if you have got stronger bands, you can progress through to a stronger band as the weeks go on. Again as well, in terms of repetitions, start low and progress up through the repetitions. For this exercise we've got 3 different techniques. So the first one I'm going to show you is a squeeze technique. So what we're going to do is have thumbs on top for the start position and just wrists underneath as well. I'm going to start with the wrist elbows quite tight in to start with and wrists just out in front. What we're going to do is just going to squeeze the band as tight as you can. I'm going to hold for 5 seconds of the squeeze, relax the hands again. So I'm going to squeeze and relax. I'm going to try this 6 to 8 times again. Have a little break in between. You should start to feel this around your forearms, around your wrist area. The next stage of the exercise is we're going to add a twist in as well. So imagine you're wringing the cloth out for this exercise. So we're going to start with elbows slightly farther out for this time. This time we're going to squeeze and we're going to twist so that the elbows come into the body nice and tight. At this point, I'm going to just relax again after that 5-second hold. So it's a squeeze and then twist, elbows into body, and then relax back out again. The next part of the exercise is going to do a squeeze, a twist, and a pull all together. So a bit more advanced, a bit more strength involved. So we're going to start again with the elbows slightly flared out, band just hold nicely through the top of your hands here. So this time, I'm going to do a squeeze, twist, and at the end of the twist, we're going to try and do a little pull with the band. Hold for 5 seconds here, and then just relax back out again into start position. So it is a bit more difficult, but just take your time. Start with a low rep range again. I'm going to do a squeeze, twist, elbows tucked in, and then a little pull at the end. Okay. You can also just change the grip as well, so you've got your opposite hand on top. So it will feel a little bit different at this stage. And pull. Relax back out. So again, like I said, good wrist strengthener, useful for opening jars, carrying kettles, also bringing cloths out. So that's really the alternative. If you've not got a band again, try that with a cloth. Obviously, just make sure you've got a sink in front of you, or just make sure the cloth's dry just so you're not getting water everywhere. But the same technique, so squeeze first, do a twist, and a little pull as well. I've got 2 more exercises to show you. The next one is a hip strengthening exercise. So good for walking, getting in and out of the chair. Also, if you're having falls, good for strengthening that area to hopefully avoid any fractures if you fall into your side. So for this exercise again, we're just going to start by just going forward in the chair, sitting nice and tall. This time we're going to just lay the band on top of your knees. You don't have your feet about hip width apart and then the feet under the knees to start with. I'm just going to tuck the band under and then just rest on top. If you want to make the band a little bit tighter instead of resistance, just pull a bit tighter just so you've got a bit of a feel already across the hips there. So the start position is hip width apart with the knees. What we'll do is just relax the hands on top, so you're not going to do anything apart from just hold the band on top there. So technique for this exercise is we're going to try and push the knees out to the sides. What we don't want to do is just to roll onto the feet. Okay, so I'll just show you how it looks first. So we're just going to push out to the side with the knees. Try and maintain the feet flat to the floor. You don't want to try and roll out with your feet so they're on the sides of your feet. So keep them nice and flat, having a 5-second hold at the end of the movement, and then nice and slowly bring your knees back towards each other. Good to avoid any contact with the knees. Try not to bang the knees on the way back in again. Just a little push until you start to feel that across this area here. 5-second hold. And then relax back in again. We're going to go up to about 6 to 8 repetitions for this one again. But like I've said previously, if you're struggling with that, just start on a low repetition range. You can always build up through the reps as you're going along. Alternatively as well is to increase the strength of your band if you're already up to that 6 to 8 repetition range. So it's just a nice smooth action, being careful not to roll the feet out to the side, 5-second hold, nice and slowly back in again. Alternatively, if you've not got the band again, we could just do some side taps in the chair, or even stood up as well. So what we're going to do is just going to tap to the side, back to the middle again, alternating with the feet. So you don't have to go too far, just where you start to feel that stretch across the hip area, back to the middle. Okay, last exercise I'm going to show you is an upper body exercise, back of the arm strength. So it's going to work your tricep, back of your shoulder here, and it's going to be good for everyday things like pulling the door, if you have to push out the chair, so back of the arms to that area as well. Also out of bed and pushing out the car as well. So what we're going to do is do one arm at a time for this exercise. Just going to let the band come down to the floor. I'm going to hold it in one hand. I'm just going to step onto the band with both feet to start with. Then I'm going to just get the grip sorted. So you want to have your thumb on top of the band here, if you can see that, and just close by the knee to start with. So we're going to just stand nice and tall, just make sure there's a bit of tension in the band. And then what we're going to do is just going to nice and slowly pull the band out behind. You'll have a slight bend in your elbow, just so you're not locked out. And we're just going to have a 5-second hold, and then nice and slowly come back to start position by the side of the knee. So it's just important just to pull until you start to feel that on the back of your arm, back of your shoulder area. Hold when you can, and then nice and slow back again. Shouldn't be twisting or pulling back the body to try and maintain that posture and sit nice and tall through the exercise. Should just be feeling this through the back of the arm. 5-second hold, and back to the start again. If you want to make it a little bit harder, if you've not got a strong ground, you could just hold the band a little bit lower, and I'll just have a bit of tension. 5-second hold, and then back. So 6 to 8 repetitions, and then we're just going to swap over on the other side. Now we've got a band. What you can do is a wall press that's been demonstrated on our page before, or again, if you've got a small hand weight or a can or small bottle of water filled up, you can do the same exercise or same movement with this. So it's the same technique, just keeping the wrist nice and low, very slight bend in the elbow, just until you start to feel the back of the arm work. 5-second hold here, and then back again, and you can just build up through the repetitions as we're going along. So thanks for watching the video today. Hopefully that's useful in terms of some exercises you can continue with at home. Please check our page for more videos in the coming few days and weeks. Thank you.